like, "Oh hey man, this is awkward." I nearly fall off the chair. "What the hell are you doing up there?" "Living," he says simply. Turns out he'd been living in the ceiling for almost a year. Lost his apartment when his startup failed. Discovered the crawl space during a job interview for this same company. And just never left. His plan was to crash at friends' places, but pride got in the way, and this seemed easier. He'd mapped out the entire building's ventilation system like some kind of architectural ninja. Knew exactly when security made rounds, where all the cameras were, which bathrooms had motion sensors. During the day, he'd sleep in the space above the server room because it was warm, and nobody ever went up there for maintenance. After hours, he'd drop down to use the computer and bathroom, sometimes shower in the executive gym on weekends when the building was completely dead. He'd been applying for jobs, doing freelance graphic design work, basically running a whole life from inside the ceiling. The interview went great, he explained, still hanging upside down like some corporate bat. They said they'd call me back, but then the position got frozen. Budget cuts. I was supposed to leave, but I saw the ceiling access during the building tour and thought maybe I'd just stay one night until I figured things out. One night turned into a week turned into a month, and suddenly he'd been up there almost a year. Security cameras never caught him because he'd studied the entire system during his building tour. Knew every blind spot, every angle when the cameras rotated. He'd even figured out how to access the employee fridge on different floors without triggering motion sensors. I was supposed to call the cops immediately. This was breaking and entering, trespassing, probably a dozen other crimes, but looking at this guy hanging from the ceiling in a sleeping bag, just trying to survive, I couldn't do it. How long were you planning to live up there? Just until I got back on my feet. Maybe another month or two. I've got some freelance projects coming through. I closed the ceiling tile and told him we never had this conversation, but I started bringing him leftover pizza from my dinner breaks. Sometimes coffee in the morning before my shift ended. Guy was living off vending machine food and whatever he could sneak from the break rooms. Best part? 6 months later, he actually got hired by the same company. Budget opened up, they remembered his interview, and now he works in that exact office legitimately. Same desk where I found his sandwich. He still sends me Christmas cards with jokes about looking up old friends. His business card says senior graphic designer, but I know the truth. Sometimes when I walk past his office during day shifts, I still glance up at that ceiling tile and smile.